Hey guys, part 2. Sorry, you missed a hand or two. I just shoved with my 9s and this guy folded, or both the guys folded. I don't know how much exactly you saw, but yeah, sorry about this 14-minute limit thing. It's just YouTube doesn't let me post videos longer, and I've been trying to get that changed, but I don't think they do it unless you've been posting for a long time. So I'm gonna keep trying, and hopefully I can get that changed and make, you know, better videos, and you don't miss hands, and it's a lot more simpler to it's a lot more fun to watch it just as one video rather than a bunch of parts. I understand that, but I'm just working with what I can do. I don't know any other services I can post on to give you guys full videos. I've looked at a couple others, but none really look all that good. I think this is good. Actually like 3-betting here. Just because it gives my hand a lot of strength. It kind of misrepresents where I am. It gives me a lot of fold equity on the flop and maybe the turn. And if he has something really good, I can figure it out because it probably re-raised me back. I haven't 3-bet him once, so I'm not really concerned about yeah, I just got him to fold right there for not that many chips. So I really like 3-betting there. Flatting is an okay play. I just feel like players get into a mode of flatting a lot because it's a lot safer, and that's not good. You shouldn't do that. I've done that in my past a lot. Here's an obvious shove. It's just, you gotta learn how to make those 3-bets work for you, and how to use them correctly. Yeah, it's a decent call by him, but I don't think it's gonna pay off. I guess it will. He's just pretty short, and you know, the whole odds were there for him to call, because I'm shoving it so much, and 3s are a favorite against my hand. Fortunate I lost, but oh well. But yeah, I mean, that's the kind of spot I would flatten a lot, but you're out of position the rest of the hand. You don't exactly know what his range is. It just makes it a lot harder to play, and you're not going to get as many chips by playing that way. So, you know, and if you can get people to, I mean, you have to learn how to fight against people who fight back against you, so that can get tricky, definitely. But you know, if you can learn how to manage it, and you're not afraid of getting knocked out on not very strong cards, and how to play it post flop is key, obviously. Then yeah, you gotta do it. You need to learn how to do that to be a winning poker player. Well, not a winning poker player. I was a winning poker player before I learned how to really do it, but you know, didn't have a huge edge, and now I feel like I'm learning how to get a really big edge. Here I made a small bet just because I don't want a queen or 10 to fall, and you know, I gotta get some money in the pot. He's not gonna hit anything stronger to really make his hand that doesn't beat me, you know. So I might as well try to get some money in the pot now, and try to get him to raise me with like an ace or something, or you know, there's just no reason to check it to him again, unless I'm trying to get him to stone cold bluff at it. But you know, I don't want to give a free card for a queen or a 10, so I almost want to just call here. Let's see, who's this guy? I'm looking at his stats. I don't think this guy's going to be all that aggressive, so my stats are always mixed matched to where I'm sitting, unfortunately. Very interesting flop. Not a bad one. I don't think he matched that. He could have. But, you know, I'm willing to go with it. I also got the gutter. So it's kind of why I'm raising. Oh, well, it's a very interesting card. I'm going to check just so I can give him the opportunity to bluff at it. Ooh, this is a weird spot here. That's a weird bet there. Who's gonna call? That's a good card. Now I can just ship it if he has it. So I don't think he's folding. but I don't think he's calling a lot of money with anything else. So here, I don't know what I should have done. I didn't really have enough time to think about it. I probably should press the time bank. All in all, it's a very good fold. So I'm happy I didn't have a lot of time to analyze it and make myself make a bad call. I think it would have been a bad call. It's just, you know, the way these guys haven't been doing anything out of the ordinary, and you know what made him do that right there is probably really good hands. So ace queen just isn't a favorite against the range of hands they have, which is pretty tight. So this is kind of a fun tournament. I feel like I do pretty well in it, probably because I rebuy and add on a lot early on, because, well, I do as many times as I need to early on. Play pretty standard. I don't go crazy early on, but if I ever bust early on, I rebuy. And so it gives me a good shot every time, and it's a really fast structure. I feel like I can play this kind of structure well. I know who to mess with, who not to mess with. I know shoving ranges fairly well. It's pretty simple poker. This is probably one of the easier tournaments to play. I mean, the field isn't necessarily really, really easy, and there is, you know, if you are the best player in the field, your edge isn't as big as being the best player in a different field. But, you know, I think as far as bigger buy-in tournaments, it's one of the easier ones to play because, one, if you are a fish in it, you have a better chance of getting lucky and winning it. And there's just less decisions that need to be made because so much of it is just pushing and hoping the cards hold up and stuff like that. So turbos, especially this kind of weird structured turbo, are kind of good for that, where, you know, they're simpler. If you're not as good, you know, turbos are a way to go, honestly. I mean, you can learn. You don't get as much poker for your money, but you have a better chance of luck boxing to a final table, or, you know, and you can't get exploited for certain things so much. And post flop, which is the hardest part to play, you don't have to play nearly as much. You don't have to make those decisions. And, you know, if you're better than a decent amount of the field, it's pretty, you can still make money in it pretty easily. And the biggest problem is the variance is really high. So if you're not a huge favorite and you're only a small favorite, you could go through a lot of losses before you get a win. So, and your margin for error is not very big. Raising with fives here, I think, was questionable. I could have just let it go. I don't like letting go pairs that much, and when I play them, I usually like to raise with them. I like betting here just because, unless someone has slow played a queen, which I doubted, they could have checked a 10. They could have another pair that they're willing to call with. And it looks like I'm beat by both of them, but I hit a full house, so unless they have queen 10 or slow played a monster, I think I'm good. I didn't make any money after that, though. That's kind of, it always makes you feel like you played it badly when you're pretty sure you got called. I mean, they might have been on draws, but you're pretty sure you got called and you would have lost if you didn't hit your two-outer, and then you did hit your two-outer and you made no extra money off of it. It makes you feel like you got lucky and you don't have anything to show for it. So it's never really a good feeling, but it's not a huge spot, so it's not a big deal. It's significant for this tournament, but overall it's not a huge spot. Wow. I think I'm just going to let this go. I just don't see a huge edge in raising. I'm not going to call a shove, although probably should have. This guy's 3% is just so small. It's 1%, and I've seen 242 hands of his. So, and these guys' 3-bet percentage is really small too, so I know to just get rid of it if I get 3-bet. And I can get some fold equity, and I feel like I can probably play these guys outplay him post flop, and especially being in position against this guy, I probably should have raised. With a hand like Jack 9, you know, a hand like 9-6, I probably shouldn't, but hand like Jack 9, I'm probably behind his calling range, but I can probably outplay him, especially being in position. And, you know, those are the kind of situations, if you have more time to analyze, you can probably make a better play. And online multi-tabling, it's hard to spend that much time analyzing every spot, but it just, the more you play, the easier those decisions become, and the more you can see quicker, and the better you can play those spots. Kind of relaxing for me now. I'm only playing 4 tables, playing, you know, 8 to 10 earlier today, so I've been trying to get up to comfortably playing 10, and usually playing 8 is kind of where I think I should be playing, to maximize my return on my hourly return. This guy's got a huge stack. He just showed up the table. Although the stacks are getting pretty big in this tournament. I feel like I have a big stack, but I'm only in 14th, so my hand is a little better. There's just not a lot in the pot to shove against him, so I probably wouldn't have. This is an interesting spot right here. This guy made it deep in that 20K tournament I played today. So I wasn't super impressed by him. I didn't think he was bad or anything, but I didn't see anything make him think he was a great player. Yeah, I'm going to 3-bet this guy purely based, I mean, I have a good hand, but also just based on his stats. He folds to 3-bets 90% of the time. I have a lot of hands against him. Just kind of shows me he doesn't stand up often enough, and when he does, he probably just has a monster. So, I mean, even if he just flats me, it's going to make me think he's got something pretty good. I'm going to raise this. Yeah, that makes me think he's got a monster, and that's okay. Here, I think it's check raise is a good play. It's a lot of strength. Get him to fold with some mediocre hands. He's probably going to bet. Win a little bit more money too. It's the higher variance play, but I don't think it's bad. I'm just taking there when I'm unfolding. Probably shouldn't have done that for so long. But oh well. Well, this video is about to run out, so hopefully this hand will end before it does. And I will stop this now and start the next video. So I'll see you guys in part 3.